The world's most successful people understand the number one powerful principle contained within the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Do you? Hi, I'm Mary Morrissey. I'm the author of 2 best-selling books, No Less Than Greatness and Building Your Field of Dreams, which became a PBS special. I'm also the founder of Life Mastery Institute. Of all the principles inside Think and Grow Rich, the international best-selling book written by Napoleon Hill in 1937, a book that sold over 20 million copies and that's created tens of thousands of millionaires, the absolute most powerful principle in the entire book is understanding the power of true desire. Now, most of us think we understand what desire is, but there's a vast difference between a desire that literally moves the molecules that form this thing we call our circumstance, our situation, our results. There's a vast difference between true desire and a simple want or a wish, or even just a simple longing. And the difference is between having what you want and not having what you want, spending your whole life wishing or wanting for something and never having it come true. So this is where many people who study the law of attraction actually get discouraged, because they simply think that they could just want something and that object would magically manifest. But that want has to actually come and be turned into a burning desire. Because you see, there is actually an art and a science to transformation. And you don't want to just want something in your mind. You want to have it in the world of form. You want to have it. You want to have results. The kind you see in your bank account, the kind you crawl into bed with at night, the place where you live, all of the many things that you would love to bring forth, the work that has meaning and purpose for you. So in the art is the dreaming or the visioning part of your desire. In the science is the vibration. And you put those two together, it becomes what Napoleon Hill called a burning desire. So you think about water. You take water, put it on a stove. You can keep that water hot on and on and on. It can be hot, but it doesn't go through a phase change where it becomes steam, a much more potent power, unless there is a shift in the temperature of that water at a certain point and it becomes at sea level 212. It changes state. And in order for there to be a state change in your marriage, a state change in your relationship, a state change in your finances, a state change in your health, a state change in the life you would love living, you have to change the pitch of the vibration you're living from. And it can't just be a casual now and then. So in Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill writes this: there is one quality which one must absolutely possess to win, and that is definiteness of purpose, the knowledge of what one truly wants and a burning desire to possess it. So notice this: the knowledge of what one truly wants, an accurate, clear vision, and a burning desire to possess it, meaning a vibrational match, so you're actually willing to do some things you haven't been doing. You're actually willing to do what you can do with what you have. It actually is way simpler than most people have any idea of, but they miss that middle piece. So now back to you and the life that you would truly love to live. What is something, right now, bring to mind something that you would really love to change in your life? It might have been that way for a very long time. You might have stories about why it is that way. Maybe it's not God's will, or maybe it's just not in the cards for you, or maybe if only you hadn't done this, or if your parents hadn't done that. But for a moment, set aside all the stories about why it is the way it is, and let yourself notice something in your life that you would really like to change. And let yourself feel the connection to really wanting to change that. And let yourself also, for just a moment, we're not going to stay here, but just for a moment, feel the pain of how long that's been going on. And how often you said you wanted to change that, and how much you meant it when you said you wanted to change that. There's not anything wrong with you. It isn't that if you just had something more, you could do this. It's just that you've been off how things change. You didn't have someone train you, didn't have someone help you, didn't have someone support you in really understanding the physics of how change occurs. And that's why you keep wanting for it, but not having it. Keep longing for it and not having it. And then the mind makes up stories about why that's so. So what would you love to have in your life? Think of not only what you want to change, but imagine that it is changed. What would your life be like? Would you be married? Would you be traveling? What would you be doing and having and giving if you made that change? What would your life look like? That's the visioning part. That's a clear picture of what you want. Now, notice that if you step inside, imagine that you actually are living that life. You're living where you want to live. You're doing what you want to do. You have the relationships you want to be in. Your health is dynamic. And step inside that and put that on as an imaginal life. Feel what it feels like to be you living this life. How much do you really want that? Do you want that enough to be willing to turn that from a want and a desire, a want and a wish, into a burning desire? Because if it's a burning desire, things are going to change. You're going to change. First, it's going to happen inside you, and then it's going to begin to happen on the outside of your world. So let me show you something. Here's how you know it's a wish. Well, maybe I could have that. Maybe, if only. It's a maybe energy. So now that we're recognizing that there's a vast difference between authentic, burning desire and a wish or a hope or a maybe, let's for a moment notice what kind of things we would be thinking and feeling if we're in wish energy. Wish energy is not going to move molecules. Wish energy is actually generating a sense of gap between me and the object of what it is that I would like. The love of my life, the money in the bank, the freedom to travel, whatever it is, the work that has meaning and purpose, the health that would transform the very structure of what this thing is that's called my health. Because transformation literally means that. Trans, to move beyond the current form of things. And Napoleon Hill studied the physics of this and said that burning desire is the key element. Know where you want to end up and have a burning desire to have that and be that in your life. So you're in wish mode if you're having maybe I'll have this. Wouldn't it be great if? It's maybe energy, is wish energy. You're in wish energy if you actually have a sense that what you want is out there, because you can never get to there. You have to come from it inside yourself. When Thoreau said, if one advances confidently in the direction of their dream, endeavoring to live the life they've imagined, not get to the life they would love, but live the life they're imagining right where they are with what they have. So you're in wish energy or gap energy if you're thinking that the object or what you want is out there. Now that's going to turn upside down some of the ways you've been trained to think about how things occur, but it's absolutely true. So if it's maybe energy, if it's out there energy, and wish energy is full of thinking why you can't have it and what's in your way. And so we're actually building a relationship with the blocks rather than the very thing we want. Change your attention to match your intention, and you're going to start to notice that you're building a burning desire, the kind that literally will change the landscape of your life, because you're starting to feel commitment energy. I'm doing this thing. I don't know everything that's going to be required, but this matters that much to me. I'm doing this thing. Now, when else might you have experienced commitment energy when you didn't really know everything that was going to be required? If you ever had a child, you committed to raising that child, and you knew there were going to be tons of things you didn't know you were going to have to learn and do in order to keep that commitment to raise that child. Or you got married and you decided to build a married relationship. You didn't know all the things that were going to happen. You enrolled in a 4-year university. You had no idea all the things you were going to have to do, but you committed to the graduation day where you were going to earn your degree. You could actually commit, not knowing everything that's going to be required, but there's a sense of commitment and connection to the object of your desire when you make a commitment. A burning desire has commitment energy to it. Burning desire has a sense, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm going to be the person who has and lives the life that I have claimed for myself. And so if I'm willing to do whatever it takes, then I'm a person who looks in every way that I can and looks for every way I can to move my desire into form in the moment I'm in. Sometimes that means walking from my imagination while I'm folding clothes, but imagining being the woman who's living the life I've imagined. But I'm doing something in every moment that I can to be a match for the object of my desire. And I decline to be discouraged. Certain things are not going to move immediately. It might take a little longer than I might have preferred. But I trust that if I plant corn in the garden and I nurture it by spiritual law and by physical law, that seed must by law bear the fruit of the seed that it is. And if I have turned my desire into a burning desire, things are being changed and moved right now, some of which I'm aware of and much of which I am not aware of. I decline to be discouraged. And I move into this reality in my mind. And I put on the imaginal life as if it were already mine. Now you can take this lesson today, this idea that you can have a burning desire today, begin to build a fuel for what it is you would really love. Way back earlier in this video when you felt the pain of the gap between you and what you would really love, let's close that gap. You deserve to live a life you truly love living, and you have within you the power to turn that wish into a burning desire. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please share it and go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already done that. So here's a question for you. What's an insight or an aha that opened up for you as a result of watching this video. If you'll go ahead and share your thoughts with me in the comment section below, I'd love to hear from you. I want to thank you for watching and hope to see you real soon. Bye for now.